Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking on a topic which I've titled Preparing for Motherhood. So before getting to the stage of motherhood, you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and in every other aspect. So I've been a mom for like 6 months now. So I think I have an idea of what motherhood is like and things or ways you have to prepare yourself in motherhood, what you are to expect, the mechanism you have to use to cope. Trust me, it's not really easy. Motherhood is actually different from you being single. You be single, you have all the time in the world to do everything you want to do. But when you have a child, trust me, it's a different ball game. And the things you are going to be doing is going to be different. Like your life, the kind of life you are living now is different from the kind of life you have been living. It's just like getting married, like when you want to get married. So you have to prepare for marriage. You don't just wake up one day and say, oh, I want to get married, and you just take your man to the altar, or your man just take you to the altar and just get wedded and you just start calling yourself a married woman. No, you have to prepare for the wedding. You have to prepare your mind. Oh, I'm going to be a married woman. These are the society expect for me. This is what the society expect for me as a married woman. Some senti apply to motherhood. So this is what, like, I'm going to be talking on some things that is expected of you as a mother, or how you are going to prepare your mind as a mother. What are the things you are going to do? So like I said in the journey to motherhood, you have to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and some other aspect. Number one on my list is putting your trust in God. In everything you do, you have to put your trust in God. Even in the wedding process, like, I know there are some people, like, I didn't experience that actually, but there are some people that they are kind of still expecting children, like they are expecting kids. They are yet to get pregnant. So all they can do is, I don't know what it feels like because I didn't pass through that stage. Though there was never a time in my life like I was worried. I was thinking about, oh, I'm trying to conceive, I'm doing things to conceive. Like, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to God for that. So all the best you have to do is put your trust in God that everything will be okay. You are expecting a child, you put your trust in God. You are pregnant, you put your trust in God that the processes through your period of pregnancy, everything will be okay. There will be no complication. You're going to the delivery room, you and your baby will be saved, like will be safe delivery. So putting your trust in God is number one, because in all you do, God comes first. In everything you are going to do, you always put God first. God always comes first. So number one is what you have to put your trust in God. So in motherhood, the number two I think is educate yourself. You have to educate yourself about motherhood. You read, like, you go to Google, you Google it on what to do. You hear from friends, you hear from family members. There's this app of this site, Quora. I use Quora a lot. So you make research from Quora. Like when I was pregnant, I browse a lot. Like, Google is my friend. I'm always on the internet steady. Like my first trimester, like, what am I supposed to expect? How is my body supposed to react to this? How is this supposed to be like? How does my baby look in my womb? So I was always on the internet steady. Apart from friends telling me things, family members telling me things, well, people that have experience telling me things, I also make use of my phone. Like, also, you kind of filter the kind of news you want to hear. When I was pregnant, actually, I was scared. I was scared in the sense that I'm somebody that like I like Twitter a lot. I'm always on Twitter. Like, I browse a lot. I'm always on Twitter. So when I was pregnant, when I enter Twitter, the first news that comes up is pregnancy. Like, you hear about women talking about then giving birth, postpartum trauma. So that really got me scared for it. I was scared, but try to filter the kind of information. Like, try to do away with negative information. I was scared because it was my first time of experiencing such. So I never knew what it's like. And you hear some people talk about delivery, the tear and every other thing. I was still scared. But trust me, just when someone is advising you or talking to you about pregnancy and the person tries to come up with negative talks, it's not like they are discouraging you or they want to make you scared. Just that they are trying to prepare your mind, like, this is what you should expect. But sometimes those things, they don't help at all. Because Trust me, you don't need that kind of fear in any stage of your pregnancy, be it first trimester, second, or the last trimester. You don't need that kind of fear, because you need all the support and encouragement that you can get. So try to make use of materials, go online, make research, know what you are to expect, know what the motherhood consists of. Like parenting is another different aspect. There's a way like you want your child to be brought up. It might be different from the way you were brought up. Like it's like the way I parent my child might not be the way you want to parent your child. It's different. So making use of reading material will help a lot. Try to educate yourself, be it online, be it offline, be it from the doctor or people that have medical experience, or mothers, people that have children already that have experience. So just try to gather as many information as you can. It will help a lot. So just educate yourself on what motherhood is like, things that you are to expect. It will help you to prepare for motherhood. Like, you will not be shocked or be unable to handle any circumstances or any situation that are likely to occur. You have to choose your parenting style. There are different kind of parenting style. So you have to choose the parenting style that you are likely going to adopt easily. So the parenting style of your mother use or your parents use for you might be different from the parenting style you want to use on your kids. Like me now, fine, I'm from an urban background, so my parents raised me well, but I mean, I want to raise my kids the way I was raised by my parents. You get? They have that was their parenting style. I might choose not to use their parenting style and then pick up another parenting style for my kids. So you have to choose a parenting style that you can easily make use of and that will suit or favor you. When it comes to parenting, you have to prepare yourself mentally. You have to be ready for it. Trust me, babies don't give birth to babies. There are reasons for that say. When you want to become a mother, you have to be ready for it mentally. You have to know that being single is actually different from being a mother. As a single person, there are some things that you can do. You get, maybe you are the type that like clubbing, like hanging out with friends every weekend. But once you are a mother, once there's a child in play, those things you have to skip them. Because if you are in club, will you leave your child at home with somebody else where the child needs your attention and be in the club, party away your time? Or you go on trips with friends and leave your child alone at home or with someone else without your care? No. So getting to the stage of motherhood and becoming a mother, there are some things that you should forego for the sake of your child. You know your priority, like your child is your priority. Your child comes first before any other thing. So there are some people that even quit, like even pause their job. I know of some persons that have to pause their job or quit their job in order to give their child the maximum attention the child needs. You have to put an hold to that job they love so much. So you have to be mentally ready for it. You have to be mentally ready for it. You have to know that to have this child or to become a mother, you have to sacrifice so many things. Like your child comes first. Your child is somebody you love so much that you would trade for anything in this world. So you should be ready to forgo so many things. So you have to prepare your mind twice and direction. Oh, I want to become a mother. So I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. My main focus should be my child. My child is my priority. So you have to be totally mentally ready. On the list is you have to protect yourself against many conspiracy theory. Trust me, there are so many theories outside there. There are so many theories that when you listen to them, you'll be scared. I remember when I was pregnant, I was scared. Like, first of all, my fear was delivering. I heard some people say it's very painful, like it's the most painful thing in the world. So people have to talk of how it was, the pain you go through, postpartum trauma. Some said they fell into depression. And some said they wish they never gave birth. I saw those things on Twitter. So those things kind of affected me. I was scared. I was really, really scared. Because I was listening to those things and my mind was open to it. It was like when I was pregnant, anything I click on, pregnancy just pump up. Anything I click on, anything related to pregnancy just pump up. And I was seeing so many negative things concerning pregnancy. So what you have to do is that you have to set your mind to filter negative vibes, negative talks away from it. Because if you allow those negative comes in, keep allowing those negative thoughts, negative thoughts to keep coming in, trust me, you are not going to find it easy. And in your pregnancy, you need all the support you get. You need all positivity around you, because trust me, that's the most delicate stage of your life. So be careful of what you read. You have friends coming to you, they keep telling you many things. Trust me, they're not telling you those things because they want to imbibe fear in you, just that they want you to prepare your mind. But sometimes trying to change the topic, I did that a lot, because I'm this kind of person, like, and when I hear negative things, I keep on thinking about it, and it was dealing with me big thing. So when my friend just come around with that talk, I just do try as much as possible to see something else that will change the topic. I like, maybe she's trying to say something like, how far, what's your day? Do you write this letter G's? This one did this one did this. Just to change your topic, because just when I don't really need that. So when you go online, you keep seeing materials on pregnancy. When you go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you hear that somebody died while trying to give birth. But there are people that have 7 children, have 10 children. They gave birth naturally and nothing happened. So you have to keep dwelling on the positive side of it. That's the only way you can survive it. You have to dwell on the positive side of it. Like when I went on Twitter, like I'm always on Twitter, like I tweet a lot. So I saw stories of this one died during delivery, this postpartum depression and all that. So also when I go on Twitter, I also see news of this one gave birth to twins, triplets, successful delivery. So I try as much as possible to dwell on the successful part, on the positive part. And I was like, my mother gave birth to how many children? So there was no sad news, no negative news. So why should I be scared? It's not my portion, because I've prayed over it, and for sure I'm positive. So you have to let go of every negative thought. And also you have people coming to you, give you so many suggestions, tell you go from this, your baby is likely to have this. So just take your mind away from those things. Just try as much as possible to ignore or fish out those negative thoughts away from your mind. Trust me, people will always talk, people always come with suggestions. You will always go online and see so many conspiracy theories, but it's not left for you to decide on which roads or which sides to take. So if those negative stuff comes on, all you can do, the best you can do, is ignore. Act like you never saw them. I did that a lot, and it worked for me. Your pregnancy, you have to be very, very health conscious. You have to stay healthy. You have to mind what you eat. You have to be physically fit. You know, when a woman is pregnant, she's likely to have, there's what we call pregnancy diabetes. Yeah. So it's not common. So women, they have that issues, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, and the rate of it happening is very low. So there's some foods you try not to take. Like, okay, like me, let me give myself for instance. Before I got pregnant, I was very slim. Like, I'm a slim person. I have a very flat stomach. Like, my stomach is extremely flat. When I put on clothes, like you can see it's lovely, extremely flat. So I'm this kind of person, like, I didn't want to be this obese person. I didn't want to be too fat. So I just want to be, even if I have even I'm done with childbearing, I still want to be in shape, just at this average size and all that. So when I was pregnant, I control my intake of food. I was not eating too much. I was not eating too much, and so I put a stop to the intake of sugary substances. Like, I was not taking mineral or other substances that contain sugar, because first of all, I didn't want to be obese, and I didn't want to have a very big baby. I just want my baby to be average. That was one. And number two, I was trying to work on my weight, because during pregnancy, very big. Like if I start taking anything, I will see I'm likely to get big. And after delivery, during the process of breastfeeding too, some women do add up in that process of breastfeeding too. So I was careful of what I took. I was eating averagely, like I was eating, but it wasn't too much. It was just on the average. I was controlling it. And sugary substances, I have to put a stop to it. Instead, I take water. I was taking much of water. I was doing little exercise. I didn't start my exercise early because I was of, I don't know, you don't need that stress when you are pregnant. You don't need too much stress because in your early stage of pregnancy, too much of stress might lead to miscarriage, and the late stage of your pregnancy, too much of stress might lead to premature birth. So when my baby was already, when my pregnancy was already 9 months, that was when I started my exercise. So what I did was taking of much food. I took much of food. So if I'm hungry sometimes, instead of eating food, I would just take fruit instead of food. And I was taking much water. So I have to put a stop to taking of sugary substance or sweet drinks and juice on time. So I was working on my diet in order to be fit, and I don't want to be obese, so I just want to remain in shape. You get? So when pregnant, be health conscious, be healthy, try to be healthy, try to control the food you take. I know women, when we are pregnant, we want to eat everything we see. We start craving for so many things. You want to eat this, you want to eat that, you get? But just try your possible best. I know it's not easy to control what you eat. Try your possible best to control what you eat, because if what you eat is not put in check, you are not able to control it. It might lead to you becoming too big or you becoming very fat. Trust me, you won't want that now. Like your first child, you're already extremely fat, and you might give birth to a second child or third child. So just try to stay healthy, be health conscious, be careful what you eat, what you take in, for the sake of yourself and also for your baby. The next on my list is finance. Trust me, when I say babies have no business making babies. So to have a child, you have to be prepared for it financially. You don't just go and give birth because you want to give birth. You plan before giving birth. Maybe if you are someone that you are a salary earner or you are a business person, you can decide to be setting aside part of your money monthly, weekly, or any basis you choose to. Because trust me, it's expensive. It's your child for sure. It's your child for sure. Your child deserves the best in the world, deserves the best of every good thing in life. But you have to be prepared for it financially. You have to be ready. You have to be ready for it. Giving birth to a child is expensive. Going for the antenatal, the baby clothes, the pampers, the food, everything. You keep spending and spending and spending. So the thing is that there's joy in doing those things because it's your child. There's joy in doing those spending, but you have to be prepared for it. You have to be financially ready. You don't just have kids because you want to have kids. When you want to have kids, you have to consider your finance also. It's not easy. You have to be ready for it. The cost of children is always on the eye side. It's always increasing. Like you can cut it according to your size. Like maybe some parents, they want the Gucci, the Fendi clothes for their kids because they have the financial capacity. But if you don't have the financial capacity, you can also afford the less expensive ones. Some people purchase thrifts, so you can buy thrift clothes for your kids, but you have to be financially ready. You don't just have kids because you want to have kids. You don't just have kids because other people are having kids. You have kids because, yes, you are ready for it. And for you to be ready for it, you have to be emotionally, you have to be mentally, and also, very importantly, you have to be financially. You don't bring a child into this world for the child to starve. No, you are responsible for the child. You choose to give birth to that child. So it's your responsibility to make sure that that child is well taken care of. That child lacks no basic necessity. So you have to make sure that all is okay. You have to make sure that your finances is in order. You don't just make that decision. You have to think about your finance and you have to work on your finance. So after getting married, you decide that, oh, I want to have a child. then you have to prepare for it. You have to set money aside. You have to put your income in check. Because trust me, the cost of pampers, the cost of baby food, the cost of baby clothes, the cost of everything that partakes to a baby, it's not something you can just like say, okay, there's nothing there. There's something there. It's expensive. So you have to think about your finance before saying, oh, I want to give birth to a child. I want to become a mother. Not just you, also your husband. This is something, in any decision you are going to take concerning your child, you have to always take your husband along. So if you are going to plan for the child you have decided to give birth, you discuss these things with your husband. You discuss the finance. You talk on how you are going to make sure that this child lacks no basic necessity. Trust me, don't just joke with anything that comes with finance. Finance is the most important thing that you should consider before giving birth to a child. All others are important too, but finance comes first. And also on my list, you have to be spiritually alert. Let God be involved in everything you do. You have to pray always. Like when I was pregnant, I was prayerful. Like I think that pregnancy stage was, do I say I was very spiritually alert. I've never been so spiritually committed in my life. I've never been so spiritually committed in my life the way I was during pregnancy. Before my wedding, I prayed. Yes, before my wedding, I was spiritually alert. I was always praying for fair weather, successful wedding, against those that will spend me bad money and those kind of things. You understand now? So, but that was for the wedding. But when it came to pregnancy, like, everything was times two. I was so spiritually alert. I prayed. I had to pray against any spirit of negativity. I have to pray for safe delivery. I have to pray for God to give me a perfect baby, for me to be in good health, my baby to be good. I told God the kind of baby I want. I want my baby to be this. I want my baby to be that. Give me this kind of baby. And it was like that. And I have to pray that God should take away the spirit of fear from me. I have to pray against every spiritual connection, what would I call generational cause, generational connection. I have to break chains. Like I was spiritually alert. You understand what I mean? So when you are pregnant, it's not time for you to be sleeping, to be so lazy in prayer and everything that has to do with the spirit realm. You have to be spiritually alert. You have to pray. You have to pray. You have to speak to God. In everything, God comes first. Like when I was pregnant, when I go online to make research, I came seeing news. You get news of this one while giving birth. This one happened. Trauma. This, that. You get. So the only thing that kept me going was my relationship with God. I already know I have this kind of relationship with God, and God was never ever gonna let me down. That's why I keep telling myself, God was never ever gonna let me down. And I believe that when I bring my problems to God in prayer, He will answer them. He has an answer to every problem. So during my period of pregnancy, I was always praying. Even when I go online and see things, I'm kind of scared. There was a time I was like, oh God, I never knew it to be like this. You get? But after seeing those things, I'm a bit scared. I go on my knees, I pray. Then I become relieved. Like, there's this kind of relief that comes with it. I can't explain it. It's unexplainable, but it's so unique. So, when you're pregnant, try to always be connected to your Maker through prayers. Pray a lot. I was not able to fast when I was pregnant because I was pregnant for crying out loud. I cannot afford to serve my unborn baby. You get, but I was always praying. I was always speaking to God, telling God of my fears, how I want my pregnancy to be, how I want my delivery to be. I want to have this smooth delivery. I want to have this perfect baby. You get, I don't want any postpartum trauma as I'm seeing online. I don't want any form of depression. And everything was exactly the way I wanted them to be. So you can do the same. Always pray to God. Always put God, always put your pregnancy in your prayer. Pray to God. Like do away with negativity. Shy away from negativity. Your friends will call. They will say things to you, not to scare you, like I said before, but to prepare your mind. Yes, we prepare your mind. We are all humans. We can't take emotion away from it. might be a little bit emotional about the whole thing, a little bit scared. But when you go on your knees to pray to God, when you go on your knees and put God in prayer, you'll be all right. That's a promise. You'll be all right. So please be spiritually alert. Pregnancy is a very delicate period in a woman's life. It's very, very delicate period in a woman's life. It's not easy. It's not easy. From this sleeplessness, that time you won't be able to sleep at night. There was a time in my pregnancy, I couldn't walk. Someone told me it was my baby that was my baby sat there or put his leg there. I don't know how to explain it. I couldn't walk. My husband has to carry me to the room, from downstairs to the room. Like, I was at work, I have to call my husband. I was crying, like I couldn't move, I couldn't walk. So I was scared at the point, like, what was this? I've never heard of this before. That was told it's a normal thing, happens to some women, but I was kind of scared. So also I prayed over it, and I just took paracetamol, and within a day, the next day I was okay. I could do everything I wanted to do. So for real, the answer to our problem is prayer. We have a role to play. But trust me, you can only play your part and leave the rest for God. So guys, that's all I have to say today. Please, if you are new to my channel, please click on the subscribe button. And if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to share this video. Please. Thank you guys. See you in my next video. Bye.